Have you ever prided yourself on being the calm one? The person who keeps it together no matter what? Then, one tiny thing, a late text, a careless comment, a spilled coffee, and suddenly you explode like a volcano that's been sleeping for years. You scream words you don't even recognize, slam doors, burst into tears in the middle of a meeting, or send a message you regret for the rest of your life. In that moment, you think, I've completely lost my mind. You haven't lost your mind. You just fell victim to a hidden psychological trap researchers call the emotional balloon effect. The harder you squeeze your feelings down, the more pressure builds inside. And when that balloon finally pops, the explosion is 100 times worse than the original emotion ever would have been. Decades of emotion regulation research prove one brutal truth. Trying to control emotions by suppressing them is the fastest way to guarantee catastrophic blowups. In 1987, psychologist Daniel Wegner asked people not to think about a white bear. Result: they thought about the white bear more than any other group. The same thing happens with feelings. The second you say, "Don't be angry," the anger multiplies. The moment you command yourself, "Don't cry," the tears flood twice as hard. This isn't weakness. This is biology plus psychology, and it has a name: the ironic process theory. James Gross at Stanford spent 30 years mapping exactly what suppression does to your body. People who rely on suppression show higher heart rates, skyrocketing blood pressure, worse memory for the event, and ironically, stronger negative emotions later. In short, the very act of controlling yourself makes the emotion grow bigger, meaner, and far more dangerous. You're not fixing the problem. You're pumping air into a balloon you can't see until it destroys the room. And the scariest part? Most of us were taught this strategy since childhood. Big boys don't cry. Stop being dramatic. Good girls stay calm. We learned that visible emotion equals failure, so we became professional stuffers. We smile when we're dying inside. We say, "I'm fine," while rage simmers at 400 degrees. We bottle, we bury, we brace for impact. Then, one day the seal breaks, and everyone around us gets covered in 20 years of pressurized pain. That's the emotional balloon effect in action. And if you've ever had a meltdown that felt completely out of proportion to what just happened, congratulations. You've experienced it firsthand. But here's the good news nobody tells you. You don't have to live at the mercy of the balloon anymore. Real emotional control isn't about making the feeling smaller. It's about changing how you relate to the feeling the moment it shows up. Suppression is clenching. Regulation is breathing. And the difference between the two decides whether you stay in control of your life or your life stays in control of you. Let me paint you two real scenes from last week alone. Scene 1. Mark, 34, senior project manager, known as the Iceman in his office because nothing ever phases him. He's the guy who smiles politely when the client screams, who calmly rewrites a presentation at 2 a.m. after it's been trashed, who never raises his voice. Last Thursday, the team missed a deadline by 30 minutes. The client sent a mildly annoyed email. Mark opened it, read 3 lines, and lost it. He threw his laptop across the open plan office, screamed that everyone was incompetent, stormed out, and punched a hole in the bathroom wall. Security had to be called. The next day, he sat in HR crying, saying he had no idea where that came from. That, my friend, was 20 months of suppressed frustration finally ripping through the balloon. Scene 2. Sarah, 29, new mom, trying to be the perfect calm mother everyone sees on Instagram. Her baby cried every night for 4 months. She smiled through the exhaustion, told everyone, "We're fine," rocked the baby while biting the inside of her cheek until it bled so she wouldn't scream. Last Tuesday, her husband came home and asked, "Why is the kitchen such a mess?" Sarah dropped the baby bottle, glass shattered everywhere, and she started screaming at the top of her lungs that she was drowning and nobody saw it. Her husband stood frozen. She cried so hard she threw up. Later she whispered, "I've never yelled like that in my life." Same balloon, different trigger. Same 20,000 suppressed moments, looking for the weakest exit point. These aren't rare stories. They're Tuesday. They're the quiet coworker who suddenly quits in a blaze of glory. They're the parent who spanks their kid for spilling juice after holding it together through 3 years of sleep deprivation. They're you, on the day you finally tell your best friend exactly what you've been swallowing for a decade. Research from the American Psychological Association shows that chronic emotional suppression is directly linked to higher rates of anxiety disorders, depression, and even cardiovascular disease. Your body keeps the score, even when your face stays perfectly neutral. Every time you force a smile over rage, your amygdala fires harder. Every time you choke back tears, cortisol floods your bloodstream. Your nervous system is literally begging you to feel the feeling in real time because it knows the alternative is a time bomb. The moment the pressure finds a crack, fatigue, alcohol, one extra disappointment, everything you stuffed comes out sideways. And the people around you only see the explosion, never the 20 quiet burials that created it. They call you dramatic. They say you overreacted. They have no idea they're looking at the interest on a loan you've been paying in silence for years. So how do you stop pumping the balloon before it takes out half the building? You stop suppressing and you start regulating. Suppression says, this feeling is not allowed here. Go away. Regulation says, I see you. I name you. I give you 60 seconds of my full attention, so you don't need 20 years. Here's the exact playbook that actually works, backed by 30 years of randomized controlled trials from James Gross, the Gottman Institute, and the Yale Center for Emotional Intelligence. Step 1. Name it to tame it. The second the heat rises in your chest, label the feeling out loud or in your head with ruthless precision. Not I'm fine, not whatever. Say the real words, I'm furious, I'm terrified, I'm humiliated. A 2007 UCLA brain imaging study showed that putting feelings into words reduces amygdala activity in under 1 second. It's like hitting the pressure release valve on a nuclear reactor. Mark from the office could have whispered under his breath, I'm livid that we missed the deadline again, and the laptop would still be in one piece. Step 2. Body first, story second. Your body believes every emotion 100%. When you feel the surge, ask yourself, where is this living right now? Tight jaw? Racing heart? Hot face? Then change the physiology on purpose. 2 minutes of slow exhales. 4-second inhale. 6-second exhale. Drops cortisol faster than any pep talk. Sarah, the new mom, could have stepped into the bathroom, done 10 slow breaths, and the bottle would still be on the counter instead of the floor. Step 3. Scheduled venting. The 20-minute rule. If the feeling is still huge after naming and breathing, give it a container. Set a timer for 20 minutes and let it rip. Scream into a pillow. Write the angriest letter you'll never send. Run until your lungs burn. Research shows that 20 minutes of full expression is enough for the nervous system to metabolize most intense emotions without spillover. After 20 minutes, the balloon is half deflated and you're back in your prefrontal cortex. Step 4. Reappraisal, the black belt move. Ask one question that flips the meaning. What is this feeling trying to protect me from or push me toward? Anger is almost always protecting a boundary or a value. Sadness is pushing you toward connection or closure. When Mark finally calmed down, he realized his rage wasn't about 30 minutes. It was about feeling invisible and disrespected for 2 straight years. Naming that truth turned explosive energy into a calm, firm conversation with his boss that got him the promotion he actually deserved. Do these 4 steps once and you'll feel better. Do them for 90 days and your baseline pressure drops so low that people will ask what drugs you're on. You can tell them oxygen and honesty. The best part? You no longer have to choose between being the calm one and being human. You get to be both. You feel the feeling in real time at volume 3 instead of letting it build to volume 300. You cry for 2 minutes in the car instead of sobbing for 2 hours on the kitchen floor at 3 a.m. You say, I'm really angry right now, in a steady voice instead of throwing a plate across the room 6 months later. That's real emotional control, not the absence of emotion, the mastery of it. So the next time you feel the pressure rising, remember the balloon. You now know exactly how to let the air out before it destroys everything you love. Start today. Name one feeling you usually stuff. Give it 60 honest seconds. Watch how fast the explosion you're afraid of turns into power you can actually use. You're not broken. You're just done inflating balloons in the dark.